Welcome back to your daily news, but without the libtard propaganda. I'm your host, Aardvarks. Starting out, GameStop AMC short sellers sit on nearly $1 billion loss. In total, it's $900 million, and a bunch of rich people that were hoping for American corporations to die are losing out. And that's a good thing. Competition, not war, with China is the future, top Marine says. Over the past decade, he's been studying China and the moves they've been making, and he thinks the future will be competition, not war. He wants to work with our allies and station more Marines out in the South Pacific. I mean, he's probably smarter than me, so I'll go with his idea until we can nuke those bastards. Armed citizen uses rifle to stop attempted mass shooting. This was in an apartment complex in Arkansas, and this is a really weird attempted mass shooting. One of the people who lived in the apartment went crazy and went outside and started yelling for people to come outside. When they came outside, he started shooting at them and the people ran back inside. Unfortunately, one old lady who was 87 forgot to close her door and lock it, and he followed her in and shot her and killed her. Another guy in the apartment complex that also had a rifle heard the noise, came out, and killed him. So it could have been much worse. It's just a really, really weird attempted mass shooting. That sucks. Supreme Court rules warrantless home gun confiscation is unconstitutional in a 9-0 vote. What had happened was a gentleman in Rhode Island had guns in his car, and his wife called the police on him, worried about him committing suicide. So the cops tracked him down, and then they took the guns out of his car away from him. And so he sued to get them back because it wasn't taken with a warrant. And this went all the way to the Supreme Court, and he won. And now the right to own guns just doesn't apply to your house. It also applies to your car, and this may become nationwide where you don't need a permit to own a gun or to carry a gun, whatever it's called. Permitless carry. That's what this is going to turn into. UK slides even further down ranking of most LGBT-friendly nations in Europe. I don't know how much further down they've actually gone. When you look at the map, they're still at the top. They're about as high as you can get in Europe for approval of LGBT. Now, the reason in recent years why LGBT positivity has been declining is maybe because of the way they act. Sure, fuck who you want to fuck, but when you go out and have pride festivals where you're butt fucking in the street and kids can see, some of us don't like that. Some of us think your lifestyle sucks. If you become more normal, you'll become more accepted. This hurts. 3-year-old fatally shoots 6-year-old sibling at a home of a police officer. This happened in Alabama, and I'm not quite sure how it happened. The story doesn't go into too much detail about it, but a personally owned gun by the cop, not his service weapon, was unsecured, and apparently the 3-year-old picked it up and shot the 6-year-old. Shitty situation all around. Shout out to this Chad, a UFC fighter dedicated his victory to the victims of communism, which is amazing. First, it was that one girl, Rose something, who won her fight, beat the Chinese girl, and said this was against communism. And now this guy who was born in Iran comes out and said his victory was for all the victims of Marxism, and while it wasn't much, it was the least he could do to help fight back against communism. So this guy, awesome. Darush. Never heard of him before, but I'm glad he won, and I hope he has a really good career. And that's been your daily news, but without the libtard propaganda. I'm your host, Aardvarks.